What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Tiege Hanley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Tiege Hanley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people, and I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now, and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank y'all for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels, and I am live from the MIAO. Shout out to Miami. I appreciate everybody for the hospitality. Everything is going well. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up to all of my friends and family. Shout out to everybody in the chat. But you know that regardless of where we at, we always got to continue to do the Millionaire Morning Show, and things have to continue to go right. No matter what you do, you always take care of the business first. What's up to my friends and family in the chat? I see y'all. I see y'all. How long do y'all think I should stay down here? I think that's the question that we need to ask ourselves. What up to the chat? You said what, Rita? I'm not asking you. How long do you think? You know we got a kid, right? For whatever reason, Rita is under the impression. Rita is under the impression that 2 days till spring. What up, Ton? Why don't you build a studio in Miami? I don't want to build a studio in Miami because I'm not going to be here year round. Miami has the best weather in the wintertime. Wintertime is incredible in Miami. The rest of the year is cool, but sometimes it could get either way too hot or you got to deal with hurricane season. I'm not interested in dealing with hurricane season. I don't want to have anything permanent down here. My home is the city. So, no, I would never transfer my daughter down here to Florida. My daughter don't want to live in Florida. She ain't interested in being in Florida. My daughter loves Michigan. I love Michigan. But yeah, Miami is cool for the winter. Miami is cool for the winter. They say, am I going to the Super Bowl? In New Orleans? Where they just had the man that drove into the crowd in New Orleans? I don't really care for New Orleans like that. I like Biloxi. I don't really care for New Orleans. All right, y'all. What up? What up? What up? What's going on? What up, friends? Hey, I'm wondering if I should do a podcast tour. Like while I'm down here, maybe see if it's some other. I don't know what all content creators is here in Miami. If it's any content creators that's here in Miami and y'all ready to work, y'all want to get to it, y'all want to get the bag, y'all want to start running it up, then let me know. And said, yo, stay down there for 5 days and get back to business. I'm always on business. I'm always on business. What all podcasters is down here in Miami? Y'all tell me what podcast this is down here in Miami. Anyways, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Let's go ahead and get started with the show. The first thing that I always do when I want to do is acknowledge the creators and the people that support the platform. So first of all, I want to say shout out to Jenny Jackson. I appreciate you. Shout out to Jenny Jackson. I also want to acknowledge Mike That Dude. Shout out to Mike That Dude on Cash App. And S. Adams. I appreciate y'all all for supporting the platform. Thank you guys. I don't know. I don't know if any content creators is down here. I see some people say fresh and fit. Is that the only podcasters that's down here? That's the only podcasters that's down here? PB, I know Patrick Bet David is over there in Fort Lauderdale. I kicked it with him before. Anyways, I think I'm gonna go on a podcast tour. I literally just came up that right now. I think I'm gonna go on a podcast tour. And what that means is when I go to a city, I'm gonna announce where I'm coming to. And if it's any content creators worth having a conversation with in that city, hit me up and I'll come on whatever podcast and we'll just rock out from there. All right. Oh, Mr. Organic. I'm cool with Mr. Organic. Mr. Organic is cool. All right. Well, let's continue to rock out and we're going to get to it. Let me acknowledge a few of the super chats and then we got a lot to cover today. All right. Let's talk. The Lyric Gamer says, good morning, AD and the Bag Chasers. Did you hear about Pam Bondi freezing funding for sanctuary cities? I did. We're going to talk about that. That's a part of the show. Also, CEO First says 7 days. Be here for 7 days. 7 days is a long time. You know, most of the time I only like to stop to a city for like 3 days max, like 2 or 3 days. 4 is pushing it. You know what I'm saying? Latrell, shout out to Latrell. I appreciate you. Thank you, Latrell. It's funny because I flew out yesterday and I didn't know. And the schools is closed and everything because the weather is so bad back in Michigan. So shout out to all of my Michiganders that's out there trying to figure it out. We like that. Love Dorsey is in Tampa. Yes, Lord Love Dorsey is in Tampa. I did interview Love Dorsey on my platform before. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get started with the show. We're going to always start with prayer. Just a quick one. Lord, be with us. Bless us to be mindful, bless us to be thankful, and bless us to be purposeful. Let me say it again. Bless us to be mindful, bless us to be thankful, and bless us to be purposeful. To be focused, never distracted, appreciative, and to be focused on whatever the task at hand is while living every day like it's our last. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you in Jesus' name. Right after the show, God. Absolutely. Let me read this last super chat and then we're gonna get started. Sean S says, morning AD, long time, been heads down, landed my first 6 figures. Shout out to y'all. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Tiege Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. Good morning, Anton Daniels and the Millionaire Morning Show. Good morning, P. Shank. I appreciate you. All right, y'all. So we got after hours tonight with me, my girl Molly, Mika, Carrie, Slimmy, and Q Diddy is on deck. We're going to get to it. And we're going to rock out. We're going to run up a bag, all right? All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get started with the show. We got a lot to cover. We got to get into Pam Bondi. We got to get into sanctuary cities losing funding. Kamala Harris's 60 Minutes interview, unedited, was released. We're going to get into that. We also have to tackle Marcus Jordan's body cam footage was released. Woman records herself getting laid off from tech. And a couple other things that I want to share with you guys. But let's go ahead and get started with the show. I'll continue to read super chats throughout the show. I appreciate everybody that supports the platform. And we're going to run it up. All right. First things first that I want to tackle is funding. All right. I want to tackle funding. So first I want to go over to the press secretary saying what she's going to stop funding for. And then I want to get over to Pam Bondi because our tax dollars are being used recklessly. I don't even know. Like, I seen a protest amongst the Democrats, including Jasmine Crockett. She's been running all across the place and trying to figure it out and doing interviews and protesting against Elon Musk. I had a little bit of a kerfuffle yesterday in a protest that was in Detroit. But we'll talk about that a little later. But people are literally fumbling the bag. We've always known it. We've never had any visibility into it because everything has been cloaked in secrecy up to this point. So we pay our taxes, we give our money over to the federal government, and we have no representation whatsoever. But we gonna get there. We gonna take care of it. Again, make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's run it up.
USAID has gotten a lot of attention in the last couple of days with some of these bizarre things that we've been, taxpayers have been funding. Now it looks like there are a couple media outlets that have been dragged into this conversation as far as USAID funding as well. Does the president have any comment on that?
So upon coming out here to the briefing room, I was made aware of the funding from USAID to media outlets, including Politico, who I know has a seat in this room. And I can confirm that the more than $8 million taxpayer dollars that have gone to essentially subsidizing subscriptions to Politico on the American taxpayers' dime will no longer be happening. The DOJ team is working on canceling those payments now. Again, this is a whole of government effort to ensure that we are going line by line when it comes to the federal government's books. And this president and his team are making decisions across the board on, do these receipts serve the interests of the American people? Is this a good use of the American taxpayers' money? If it is not, that funding will no longer be sent abroad, and American taxpayers will see significant savings because of that effort.
So, all right, so we got a couple things to cover before we get to Pam Bondi, all right? The first thing is to find out and see, a lot of people, the argument that people will make is that, oh my God, $8 million is not a lot of money when you consider that we have trillions of dollars that we allocate every year for the federal budget. $4 million is not a lot of money. $50 billion that's allocated to USAID is not a lot of money when you talk about it being less than 1% of the federal budget. What we've experienced here in our federal budget is that we are basically getting death by 1,000 cuts. We probably have thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of different programs that's cloaked in secrecy. That this is why a lot of people are upset that Elon Musk and Trump is going through with a fine-tooth comb. You would not believe, and we're not just talking about big agencies and stuff like that. Politico is a news organization. Why is it being subsidized by the federal government? How does that actually help the American taxpayers? Do you understand what outsourcing is? Like, for example, they've always talked about outsourcing because some people would argue that the post office, the USPS, United States Postal Service, is funded by the federal government, regardless of whether you want to admit it or not. It absolutely is subsidized by the federal government. Some people will say, no, we pay for it with shipping and stamps and stuff. It always is operated at a deficit. And because it is a needed service, a required service that was established in order to be able to connect with your neighbor and send things back and forth originally, it provides a form of infrastructure to the United States of America. Now, because we have other people doing it better, including Amazon, including FedEx, including UPS, so on and so forth, DHS, there's probably no need for us to continue to subsidize it unless we believe that the mail service is being compromised, which we have no evidence of that because, again, multiple different services that are competing are doing it much more better, much more efficiently. And who's to say that we really need that as a competing service? It's the same thing when it comes to all of these other things. Some people will make the argument, no, we don't want the mail service to go away. Okay, fair. You can probably justify it in some way from a business perspective. Why are we subsidizing Politico? Why are we subsidizing news agencies with our tax dollars? Think about that for a minute. When you go through, and the reason that I believe that a lot of these people are angry, they are mad, they are pissed off that Elon Musk and his young team of engineers are going through Every single federal agency. And remember, we're only a little more than 2 weeks over. We're a little more than 2.5 weeks in. And they are finding line by line by line by line all of these different things. Some people would ask, why do they need the keys to what's going on with the Treasury? Why do they want to see what's going on with the Treasury? Why do they need to understand that? The reason that they need to understand it is, A, you need an outside source that is not compromised and destroyed by the federal government. I think that most Congress members, almost every single Congress member, is compromised. They've been in there too long. This is why we need term limits. They got people that are in their pockets. They got campaign donors. Bernie Sanders, RFK Jr. explained that Bernie Sanders was the one that was getting the most donations from Big Pharma, and he's the one that's over here pivoting and acting like he cares about stopping billionaires and millionaires in Big Pharma. He's getting the most. All of these Congress members, no matter how much you think that they cool, no matter how much you think that they work in your best interest, it's a reason why they fight tooth and nail to make sure that they stay in that office. It's the reason why most of your legislators are rich. And in order to try to drain the swamp and find out what's really going on, you got to have an outside source that's not compromised, that's not ruined, that don't have a stake in what is going to happen. You got to have somebody to go and find out what's going on. Here's Pam Bondi.
Hours after she was sworn in, the country's new attorney general takes direct aim at so-called sanctuary jurisdictions, including San Diego County. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. One of Pam Bondi's first official actions as U.S. Attorney General has been to ban federal funds to sanctuary cities and counties which refuse to cooperate with federal immigration enforcement.
CBS 8's Richard Allen is here now with more on what this means for San Diegans and the legal challenges that are expected. Richard?
And Carlo and Marcella, San Diego County's Board of Supervisors voted in December to make the county a sanctuary county, making it clear that while it would uphold federal immigration laws, it would not use local resources to assist federal immigration activities.
San Diego County and really the whole state of California, we're committed to protecting our communities.
Tara Lawson-Remer is acting chair of the County Board of Supervisors. She says this new directive from Attorney General Pam Bondi ordering the Department of Justice to ban federal funding from heading to sanctuary jurisdictions will not change the county's current policy.
We're not going to be participating in any type of effort around mass deportations. I'm very clear that it's a terrible waste of public resources, in addition to it being, frankly, unconscionable.
Bondi's directive, issued just hours after she was sworn in, also orders DOJ officials to investigate instances of sanctuary jurisdictions allegedly obstructing law enforcement and, quote, directing they be prosecuted when necessary.
What this means, if sanctuary cities up and
Somebody said, let's talk about Elon Musk having read access to Treasury payments, all right? How can you find out where the money is going? How can you find out where the money is going if you can't find out where the payments are? The most pure form of auditing is to go into the bank accounts. When you get a divorce, when you're having a dispute, a financial dispute, what they wind up doing is they do a financial audit that basically subpoenas your bank records. And when they subpoena your bank records, then they have to go through and line by line find out who you've been sending money to. Or you've been spending money on OnlyFans? Cool. You've been spending money on this, you've been spending money on that? Absolutely, we got you. I believe that listen, you go and audit these different agencies or whatever. How do you know where all of the money is really going? You have to go to the source. The only way that you can find out where the money is going is to go directly to the Treasury. If they didn't have any need to see it, then they wouldn't be looking in it. But that's how they found the payments that's going to Politico. You don't think that Politico or all of these other places, you don't think that it's people that are shaking in their boots? There are people that are shaking in their boots. There are organizations that have been subsidized by you, the taxpayer, and the federal government. How are you not mad that a lot of your monies probably for decades, for years, have been going to all of these places and we had no clue about it? When you go through and you do your own personal budget, right? You have to go line by line and look at exactly how you're spending your money. Oh man, I'm spending all of this money on food. I'm spending all of this money on subscriptions. I'm spending all of this money on these hoes. I'm spending a lot of money on tricking off my money or whatever, so on and so forth. It's death by 1,000 cuts. You rein in that budget, and then that's when you're able to actually account for what you've been doing for all of this time. Over the next 2 years, because the Department of Government Efficiency is supposed to be operating all the way up through 2026. Over the next 2 years, we are going to look at all of these people that are shaking in their boots and have not been operating above board, and they need to be brought to the front of the congregation to see where our money is going. Everybody is scared because now we really draining the swamp. When Trump first got in office in 2017, we talked about draining the swamp. This is really draining the swamp right here. The only thing that have to do is to go back and find out where all of the money is going. When you find out where the money is going, you can find out where somebody has been finessing you.
Down the state are denied funds. If we don't have judges step in and have a temporary restraining order, that could block more than $1 billion across the country in funds that have nothing to do with immigration.
UC San Diego political science professor Thad Kauser points out that President Trump in his first term tried a similar move to withhold federal law enforcement funds from sanctuary jurisdictions, a move that was quickly challenged and ultimately defeated all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court.
And so the question here is, will this action, which clearly contravenes current law and current judicial precedent, will the courts make a new decision now that the Supreme Court is more strongly in favor of President Trump?
Lawson Reamer says while the county will uphold federal law, it will not bend to this political pressure.
The Trump administration, they're trying to intimidate everyone. They're trying to scare people, and it's not going to work here. We're not afraid.
And Professor Thad Kauser says he expects this directive by the DOJ will be quickly challenged in court.
The only reason why people are challenging things, it's a simple mandate. You can't make yourself a sanctuary city to protect people that are criminals. If you prohibit criminals from being arrested in your community, I think that you should be charged. You can't harbor a fugitive, so why should these different counties and these cities harbor fugitives? And the best way to tap into somebody is to tap their pockets. If you want to break somebody, if you want to hurt somebody, you need to tap their pockets. Forcing somebody to submit based off of funding that you are allocating for them is the fastest way to get submission. Do you know why women get they act together a lot of times once they've been out of order? It ain't that you sitting there talking to her for a long time. It ain't that you can sit there and try to convince them, oh baby, please, you need to you know why you can't get your household in order? Because you broke. See, I always like to break it back down from a C student's perspective so that you can better understand what's going on. Do you know why your girl is not listening to you? Because you threatening to leave don't mean nothing to her. You know, that's where women got that whole saying, I could do good by my D self. And I've been paying all the bills anyway. It's my house anyway. But when you threaten, when she see you going and wait a minute, all of the funding. Wait, you mean I got to go back and live with my mama? What? I'm going to have to downsize and get a used car? Clunkers for cars? I don't know if y'all remember Clunkers for cars. Rita has this joke, right? She has this running joke where back when we went broke, back in like '08, right? When we went broke, everybody in the city was broke. So her and her friends, they were broke together because I was broke, right? And so they had this club. You know how women all had these clubs, like, you know, the brunch club and all of this stuff. Well, the name of Rita and her friends club was called the Cars That Makes Noise Club. I can't be any more real with y'all. She laughing because she know it's true. The name of the club that Rita was in at that time was called the Cars That Make Noise Club. And it was because when you broke, your car tend to be louder than other cars that's on the road. And it smoke up more and it gets a little bit louder. And so you bring unwanted attention to yourself. And so you just try to focus on the road. And so we pledged that we would never be a part of the Cars That Make Noise Club anymore. The reason why a lot of women don't feel threatened by you is because they feel like they can get good D anywhere. I mean, it's a nice to have, but it's not a must. But when you start to talk about removing funding, submission instantly. You know what? I don't know what was wrong with me. I'm so crazy. All I had to do was be a cool person. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm telling you the truth. And it's the same thing that's applicable across the board. When you go through and you find out the reason why you see all of these Democrats going bananas, the reason why you see all of these protesters going crazy about auditing the federal government, we never gave a flying F before as a country. Nobody cared. They could care less about DEI, transgender funding for prisons. Nobody gave a crap. You know why nobody gave a crap? Because everybody was getting broke off. And it's easy to keep people quiet when you got money going into everybody's pockets. But then when you start to upset an establishment, when you start to upset people's pocketbooks, when they start getting scared, now you're going to start to see everybody protesting, we will fight back. That's why they spend so much money trying to make sure that certain people get elected, is because everybody got a vested interest financially and keeping the taxpayer money flowing. Keeping the taxpayer money flowing. Now, if you don't think that $8 million that's going over to Politico or all of these other subsidized institutions and stuff is going to be upset as an establishment, boy, I'm telling you, we going to get there. We going to get there. Let me read some of the super chats, and we going to get over with the show. Pop, I always like to read all of the super chats. What is $2? Says, no fruit booty, but my dude's beer glistening. Dag. Listen, you know what it's called? I'm going to tell you what it's called. It's called soap, water, brush, comb, Vaseline, lotion, and Tiege Hanley. That's it. In order to make sure that your beard smells good and is clean, and when a girl hugs you, she's not like, soap, water, lotion, put some Vaseline on your face, and Tiege Hanley, and brush your teeth. And that's all you need, big dog. That's all you need. Head down, bag up TV says, good morning, bag chasers. Another day full of opportunity. Let's get to it. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Shout out to Miss Crow T. Shetty in the building. Chris Cunningham says, Anton, salute. Yo, these Democrats are big mad. That's because, listen, they ain't mad at Trump. They mad at the fact that Trump about to cut off their money. America is being coddled. Is no longer an option, said Ms. Jackson. Chris Cunningham says $50 million on condoms is a red flag. If y'all can't see that, is a problem with me. And guess what? No Democrat is whining about the fact that we sent $50 million over there to Gaza. Just join the Chasers. You need to open up more seat at the table spots ASAP. My pleasure to join on the good side. You speaking nothing but facts. Shout out to Fine God in the building and everybody that support the platform. I appreciate y'all. Let's continue to move over to the next segment of the show. Let's talk about Kamala Harris. So, 60 Minutes recently released the full version. Now, the full version is like an hour long. All right. So we don't have the capacity here. Maybe on a weekend or something like that, I'll go through the whole footage and we'll get back to that. Or maybe on like a Wednesday, we'll do long form in the afternoon, content on the Anton Daniels channel where we can break it down all the way through, right? But we needed to find a shorter cut that actually gave us the clips that we wanted to speak to, and so we had to go and find that. But in a general sense, 60 Minutes recently released the whole thing, the full footage of what we were complaining about back during election season, the whole thing of Kamala Harris. But here's the caveat. They didn't release it because they wanted to. They released it because they were forced to. Hold on one second, y'all. Well, let's get to it. Let's just play the clip and let's get to it.
We got our hands on the raw footage of Kamala Harris's 60 Minutes interview. Last October, in the heat of the election, Harris, Hail Mary with CBS. But the network was caught deceptively editing this answer. Watch.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening. The Wall Street Journal said that that your administration has repeatedly been blindsided by Netanyahu. And in fact, he has rebuffed just about all of your administration's entreaties.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region. And we're not going to stop doing that. We're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
So basically, the complaint was that for whatever reason, right, these news organizations, these platforms, all of these places, they basically were giving Kamala Harris an alley-oop. They were trying to get the interview so that they can get visibility for whatever their platform was, whether you was a 60 Minutes legacy media platform or you were a podcaster. You were basically willing to sell your soul just to get a presidential candidate on your platform. So many platforms did it. 60 Minutes was one of the most egregious because they edited to make it seem like they editors was in the room sweating bullets. For whatever reason, they edited to make it seem like that she was a competent speaker and she knew what she was talking about against these issues that she was, like, for example, Gaza and Netanyahu and immigration and all of these different things. In reality, she was a bumbling idiot. And I don't know why. I don't know why. Maybe they agreed to it prior to, having it. Maybe in order to get the interview, her people basically said, well, we want to see the final edit of it. And so if you don't do it this way or whatever, I have no clue whatsoever. Okay. But for whatever reason, 60 Minutes, who were supposed to be an organization that was above board, basically finessed. And so that was the footage that was aired, and then that was the raw footage. And have you noticed, I don't know if y'all had noticed, and I pointed this out during election season, that almost all of Kamala Harris's interviews were less than 30 minutes long. They were trash. They were absolute garbage. Trump was pulling up to places like Joe Rogan and doing 3-hour interviews. J.D. Vance, same thing. We ain't even really see from Tim Walz. Nobody wanted to talk to him at all. And so Kamala Harris's interviews were heavily edited. The questions were all the same across all the platforms. The answers were the same, and they were short. They kept it super short. Let's continue.
Sued CBS for $10 billion, and it looks like they might settle. But before that happens, the FCC released the full interview, unedited.
Let me go back a little bit for a second. Let me see something.
Stop doing that. we're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
Trump sued CBS for $10 billion and
Trump is getting Trump is not messing around. He want everything to come out into the open. He want to see what was going on. And all of these places, CNN, all of these places, MSNBC, they all been settling. And before they did that, the FCC is requiring them to release the full footage.
it looked full interview, unedited, and we have the tape. They talked for an hour and left a lot out. Here's an answer that never made air. Watch.
I'm trying to understand how it is that with this emphasis on the border, the numbers of crossings quadrupled under the first 3 years of the Biden-Harris administration. How did that happen?
There are a variety of factors that relate to what we have seen globally and what we are not immune from at our own border in terms of what we have seen in terms of surge of immigration and irregular migration. And there are solutions at hand, but we've got to have leaders who are solution-oriented, which we've been and are.
When you look back at this interview and her talking about the incompetence or the fact that they were solutions oriented and they were taking care of business and all of this other type of stuff, and that they was being hard on immigration, but we needed Congress to act and do some things and all of this stuff. Yet we see Trump getting people up out of here so fast in the last 2.5 weeks. We see people protesting because Trump is getting people up out of here. We see Trump signing executive orders and Tom Homan is out there running amok. ICE is up. Listen, they say the military, ICE, border protection, all of these agencies, their recruitment levels are through the roof immediately because the people actually support the things that Trump is doing in office. When you see her say this versus what we see happening over the last 2.5 weeks, it has to make you laugh. It has to make you laugh. There's no way that she can justify, or the Biden administration could justify what we've seen over the last 4 years. It's crazy. Oh my God, we needed bipartisan legislation in order to get more funding to the border. Trump said, man, send the troops down there, get ICE out there to get everybody deported. Let's get Tom Homan back in. He served the last 7 administrations. We need to make sure that we get these people out of here. We need to make sure that we make America great again, that we have people coming in legally, that we don't have illegal migrants taken away from it. We're going to sue the sanctuary cities. We're going to throw this person in jail. If the New Jersey governor got a migrant that's in his garage, we're going to prosecute him. All of a sudden, in 2 weeks, everything is rolling, just rolling. You ain't need Congress. We ain't need no extra funding yet. We ain't had to do none of that. We just getting people up out of here. We sending them out of here on cargo military planes. Colombia taking 8 people back. Venezuela taking 8 people back. Mexico taking 8 people back. Everybody is on board in less than 2 weeks, but they couldn't get it together in 4 years. Okay.
CBS also cut out their host pressing Kamala on how she's going to pay for all of her giveaways.
If all of this makes so much sense, why has this not been done? You're dealing with a Congress that is divided, that many are in opposition to not only you but your policies. So how are you going to make this come true?
Bill, if I approached my life as though, well, it's never been done before, therefore it cannot be done, I wouldn't be sitting here in this interview with you. That's the truth.
Then 60 Minutes tossed Kamala a big fat softball, and she swung and missed.
The most basic of questions. Why do you want to be President of the United States?
There are many reasons, but probably first and foremost, I truly believe in the promise of America. I do. And I love the American people. You know, we are a people who have ambition and aspirations and dreams.
Now, we've heard that answer at least 76 times, minimum. We've heard that answer at least 76 times minimum. Anybody that followed the election know about the aspiration, dreams, and hopes of the American people. But how is that relevant to you wanting to be the president of the United States of America? I know her people was in the background like, yeah, we're going to have to get that removed. Yeah, we're going to have to get that edited. Yeah, we're going to have to get that. Do y'all realize that this is the person that wanted to be, that y'all tried to vote into office to be president of the United States of America? If we didn't dodge a bullet, I don't know how much more right we could be as far as picking the right person to be president of the United States of America. This was the easiest selection in my lifetime. There has never been a more easy selection for who you should pick to be president of the United States of America across the board. You couldn't screw this one up. It's almost like they gave you a multiple choice answer and they gave you the answer and told you can use your notes and you still got it. A lot of y'all liberals, you still got it wrong. You still got it wrong. America got it right. We dragged y'all through it. You still got the answer wrong. This is the reason why teachers had to grade on a curve. It wasn't that the information wasn't there. It was that you was just determined to go against the grain and you didn't believe that you had the right answer. It was right there in front of your face and you certainly tried to throw this whole country into the deepest, darkest recession. This was going to be the fall of Rome. The Roman Empire was going to go away as soon as she became president of the United States of America. It could not have been any easier. Of course, Anak, it was an open book test. And you didn't bring no notes. You never took notes. We gave you the answer. The teacher also said, not only is it open book, y'all can help each other. Y'all can copy off of each other's paper. And you still decided to do your own thing and said, I'm going to go with answer D. The teacher put the Scantron. I don't know if y'all remember Scantrons. We used to have Scantrons when I was in school. And it was basically like filling out a Keno or something like that, right? You selected D on the Scantron and there was no D. It was an A, B, C question. You put D on the Scantron. There was no D as a question on the test. This is literally what y'all would have did. And it was so easy. And this is why I almost lost hope for the American people. The teacher said y'all can help each other in class. Y'all can copy off of each other's paper. You know what? Do what you need to do. I'm going to turn my back. I'm going to walk out the door and I'll be back in 15 minutes flat. Y'all let me know what y'all got going on. And you still did. You selected D. You picked D.
And optimism and hope.
That's why you want to run. That's why you want to be president.
That's why I'm running. That and some other reasons.
But you're asking the American people to make you the most powerful person on the planet. Mm-hmm. Why do you deserve the American people's votes?
He had to reframe the question again.
Well, first of all, I have a career and a history of being very clear that I think of my role of leadership, and in particular now for the last 4 years as vice president and moving forward as president, if the voters will have me, as being a leader on behalf of all Americans.
What? What the hell are we watching right now? Yo, listen. Honestly, if I have the capacity this weekend, if I'm not doing some podcast or something like that, or I'm not laid up on the beach here in Miami, I will definitely do a long form review of this interview to go back in time to make sure that we understand exactly the type of bullets that we dodged. It's incredible. It's incredible. For everybody, for the 92, what is it, the 93 percenters? That's what y'all call yourself. I'm a 92, 93 percenter. Y'all know that that's what black women calling themselves nowadays, right? Y'all know that's what black women are calling themselves, right? They're calling themselves the 92, 93 percenters. I'm a 92, 93 percenter. That basically means that is the percentage of them that voted for Kamala Harris. I'm a 92, 93%er. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Never vote again. You should be banned from voting. You should be removed from the voter booth. I'm not sure if y'all deserve driver's license at this point. I'm not sure if we're safe on the roads with you guys. Alon, that means that is when they identify themselves as the percentage of women that overwhelmingly voted for Kamala Harris. I'm a 92, 93%er. I think we need to drug test y'all. Honest to God. I believe that we need to drug test not only do we need to drug test the 92, 93%ers to figure out whether or not they're even safe to be on the roads, we also need to drug test the 78% of black men. The 78% of black men that follow black women to the polls and was shamed into voting for Kamala Harris. We need to drug test these guys. We need to drug test these guys. We do. We need to drug test them to figure out what in heaven's name were y'all thinking. What in heaven's name were y'all thinking? Considering to even vote for this woman. And they say it proudly. I'm a 92, 93%er. I could probably call my mom right now. I don't want to embarrass her. Yeah, child, Anton. Look, and then she'll say this to me. My mom will say this to me. I don't know what is wrong with you. What is wrong with you? Were you even born here? Were you born are you my child? Sometimes you just lose your mind. I mean, this is what my mom will say to me. Anton, you're so smart that you're dumb sometimes. You're so smart that you're dumb. I can't believe it. Anton, you're just so smart that you're just dumb. I said, Mom, what does that even mean? I don't even know what that means either. She hit me with the busy signal. I ain't never got a busy.
Hello?
Hey, Mom, I got a question for you real quick. Are you there? Can you turn the TV down a little bit?
Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, hey, yeah, I can. Hi, how are you, Anton?
I'm doing well. Can you turn the TV down real quick? I'm on a live stream. I just got a quick question, real quick.
Oh, okay. Hello.
You know how you used to say to me that I'm so smart that I'm dumb sometimes?
Yeah, too smart for your own good. That was the actual saying. Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
That means to me that okay, we've talked before how you have this particular gift of insight that I've always known that since I was pregnant with you. But you was always so smart. You would use it in a manipulative way, almost to self-destruct.
Okay.
So yeah, that was me and your dad would say that you're too smart for your own good, and so you would do things, you would say things, you would act on things that you know would be beneficial normally to a situation, but you would overgo by digging too deep. And we'd be like, "Hey, slow up, back up, wait a minute."
You said I would dig too deep into it?
You would dig too deep, or you would go too far, or you would just do too much. And so we would try to slow you down, back you up, stop you before you cause a detriment to yourself.
Like, do you think that it's applicable in politics? Like for me diving into politics?
Absolutely. 100%. And yeah, yes, absolutely. I want to say more. At the same time, I don't want to say the wrong thing.
You can't say the wrong thing?
Well, you're on live, so I don't want to.
Well, I mean, how is it politically? Like, if you would say, oh man, I'm too smart for my own good, and with the whole political thing, what would you say? How would you apply that?
You got into the political arena mainly when you started dealing with the election and Republican versus Democrat. Instead of you like balancing your views or your opinions regarding Republicans versus Democrat and who was running for whatever office, you went too deep, and it's almost like now you can't. I mean, you see okay, I'm just going to go ahead. Trump is destroying this land. He's a tyrant. He's a dictator. Ray Charles can see that. He was blind as dead. Anybody can see that. It's like obvious to anything and anyone. Him and his cohort, Elon Musk, they are just taking this nation apart. It's no way that anybody can justify what it is that they are doing or can't see that this is destruction and where it's going, which is nowhere. But did you back up? Did you stop when I said, hey, Anton, that's not the move and groove? Nope, you went deeper, you went further, and it's like, so, and I kind of watch you on a daily and your, what you talk about, and you still have a tendency to justify and find something where there's justification for the destruction of this nation through Trump.
Did you say that? Do you think that he's done anything good since he's been in the office, in your opinion?
Just one thing good that I can see.
Only one thing?
And I'll even stretch it and say two. Number one is he got some control over this trans and homosexuality. He's put the foot down, and they were out of control. They was just doing too much. They're getting more attention than the normal people, the regular people. They got 5 genders. I'm a them and I'm a they. No, you're not. You're one person. You're still a man that's trying to be a woman. Period. Point blank.
And what was the second thing that you was gonna say?
The second thing is immigration and immigration for criminals. What he is doing and how he does what he's doing is criminal.
What do you mean?
He's a criminal.
You said you like the fact that he's getting these illegal migrants out of here, but you don't like the way that he's doing it?
No. And then this new thing where he's trying to take over Gaza and telling the people that live in Gaza that's coming back to their homes since the war ended in their country, he said they can't come back, so they got to find somewhere else to go. These are their homes. So he's just overstepped everything, and it's just, I can't wait for God to kick in and destroy this man before we are completely wiped off the map. And I'm not talking about a particular race, creed, or color, but in every entity, every way possible, financial, political, economy, everything that he touches turns to mud. He is a demon in disguise. He came in as a criminal, and it was just okay to do. He came in as a convicted criminal. He overruled all of his convictions. He got everybody that stormed the White House. Okay, put y'all back on the map. Let's go. Y'all be my backup. And so they feel obligated, of course, now to they were already. He invited the Klan to the White House and entertained them. Hello, what are we doing? Are you serious? Who can justify that? How did you justify that?
How do you
justify your president that you voted for, Mr. Republican? How did you justify?
How do I justify what?
The Klan. Him entertaining the Klan.
I thought he condemned the Klan.
He invited them there, and he.
You didn't hear him condemn Uh, Racism in the Klan. You didn't hear him say that?
No, I didn't hear him say that. No.
I could send it
But
to
you
you.
heard that, I'm sure, right? Yeah.
I could send it to you.
Okay, so everything else regarding that, he put them back on the block. He got them out of prison and put them back on the block. So justify that.
So so now because I've dug too deep, I'm digging too good. I'm too smart for my own good.
Yeah. Uh-huh. But I'm used to it. Unfortunately, I've seen you do it. I remember telling you when you started cursing. You never cursed like that. That was against your moral and your standard and your way you were raised and all. God first. But you remember me telling me, "Hey, stop cursing."
I don't curse on the Millionaire Morning Show no more.
On the Millionaire. Okay. So back to reality. Back to the real deal. Your mom said, "Stop doing that," because that's you picked it up. You did it more, and you was like, this makes me sound good and feel good, so I'm going to do this, like whatever your reasons were. And you continue, and I would say, you can't do cursings and blessings out of the same mouth.
Ma, that's not what that scripture means.
Okay, break it down to me. Go ahead.
Okay, so the whole scripture of cursings and blessings out of the same mouth has nothing to do with curse words.
Words. I got that part.
It has nothing to do with curse words.
I believe me, I'm there. I understand that part.
So me saying curse words is not relevant to that scripture specifically.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
To curse someone, or right. To bless someone, or to pray for someone is completely different than curse words. Curse words are an expression of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
All right.
It's like hate. It's like hate, for example. They say you can't hate, but you absolutely can hate. Even if you look at the scriptures and you look at God himself, he's experienced a multitude. He said that he was a jealous God, but it depends on the context by which you use it. He said he hates.
Well, it depends on how you use the scripture from your own perception.
No, the word is the word.
You can read the same scripture. Listen to me. You can use the same scripture, and every time you look at that scripture, more is revealed from it. You can look at it 100 times, and it's still 200 more perceptions that you can pull from 3 words.
Ma, come on, you know you off
That's
on
fine.
that one.
I'm not going to argue with you anytime. I know who you are. It's all good. You go for it, but you can't. You can't. You can read the same. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Well, that means when you're a sheep and then you have a shepherd, and it's like, hey, stop. Let's just work with.
It only means one thing. It ties back to the scripture of seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and everything else shall be added unto you. You can make your request known, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't rest in God and understanding that he knows what you need if you serve him. The Lord is your shepherd. The shepherd overlooks the sheep. The sheep doesn't know what they want, but the sheep knows. The sheep has eyes. The sheep has senses. The sheep has ears. The sheep has a tongue. It could taste. It has all of the things, but at the same time, it doesn't necessarily know what's good for it because it hasn't matured, or it's not in a space to understand the dangers that's outside of it. So sometimes we can ask for something, but we still have to trust in the Lord to know that he has God's eye. He can see that he looks at it from a 30,000 foot view, whereas we can't see the forest for the trees, right? So we have to trust in a shepherd to guide us, which ultimately will lead us in the best direction, which is why we then say we don't lean to our own understanding. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the word is the word. It doesn't change. You don't get 3 different meanings from it. You just get more understanding when you understand the context by which it was said.
Thank you. I rest my case. You said it right there. You get more understanding. Every time you read it, it gets deeper and deeper.
No. The understanding comes from understanding. The understanding comes from the context by which it was said. So the scriptures before it, the scriptures after it, the lessons that was given. Like the New Testament is a direct reflection of the Old Testament, but if you don't understand the promises that he made to Abraham, then you wouldn't understand the covenant that we are all seeds of Abraham when we give our life over to God, right? So you need to understand the Old Testament before you can truly get the message of the New Testament, but a lot of people don't read the whole Bible. So when I say you got to understand the whole thing, I'm saying that you got to read the whole Bible to understand the context by which he said it.
So you just totally disregarded that there are more perceptions than just what you see on paper.
No, it shouldn't be more perceptions, but
there are more revelations. It's deeper than the surface.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It is. But you got the gift of gab, and I don't take that from you. I give you kudos on it. I love it. But you, at the same time, you're not open-minded enough to be able to understand where you can actually be wrong.
Who, me?
Yeah, you, Anton Daniels. You can't, yeah. But, after 40-something years and me being who I am, I know what to do with you, how to do it, and when. Let him roll. Just leave him go. Take your hands off. You got to learn from his own mistakes. Okay, so let's go back to why did you ask me that question? What was your favorite context? Why did you?
Because I was looking at a video of 60 Minutes and Kamala Harris, because they was forced to release the whole video instead of the edited footage, and it shows how stupid she was. Yet, people will still justify why she should have been president of the United States of America. And so
what?
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I never felt like she was justified to be the president of the United States of America. Never did. But guess what?
Ma, you voted for it. Why did you vote for it?
I voted for her anyway because I didn't want the devil in sheep's clothing to a criminal. A criminal. She's not a criminal. She might not be an angel herself, but she ain't. She's not a criminal. She's not a convicted criminal. She's not a racist. She's not a lot of things that Trump was. Trump developed 2025, and he is hitting every letter of that manual. Every letter. He ain't even been in just a little bit over. No, he ain't even been in a whole month, and he done destroyed this land.
Destroyed?
And destroyed America.
What did he destroy?
And everybody is in fear, but I don't.
What do you think that he destroyed?
Because what do you think God is.
What do you think that he destroyed?
No. Let's flip this back. What do you think he did not destroy? What does he not destroy? You tell me that part.
America.
Tell me how wonderful he is, please.
Well, he's going through, first of all, you said it. He made sure that no boys can go into girls' bathrooms and can participate in women's sports. He removed diversity, equity, and inclusion, so now we have merit-based, because diversity, equity, and inclusion also included the alphabet community and the trans community. And that was also hijacked by white women with the civil rights movement and feminism. He's also going through an audit in the federal government to find out where all of our taxpayer dollars is going, including condoms over in Gaza and money going over to political organizations that was feeding false news to us. He sued several organizations, and he's made sure that these cities are no longer sanctuary cities to hide illegal migrants and criminals. He started deporting them back to their own cities, especially the ones that has committed the most egregious crimes. He signed in the Lake and Riley Act, which then also permitted or forced sanctuary cities to hold illegal migrants accountable.
Are you reading?
No, I'm just talking right off the top of my head.
Okay. Go ahead.
That forced sanctuary cities to be accountable. He's going through with a fine-tooth comb and audit in the federal government, included USAID. He's put people in place like RFK Jr. to find out what's in our food, because a lot of our cancers and a lot of the things that's being fed to us is actually bad for us. He's going through every single agency, including the CIA and the FBI, to find out who's doing what where. He's pledged to release different files, including the files against Martin Luther King and the CIA and all of these different things that's happened to black people over the years that was planted inside of our community, and releasing files. And this is all within 2.5 weeks. So I haven't seen anything that he's done over the last 2.5 weeks that actually destroyed the country. I think he's helping the country.
Okay. All right. I pray to God none of this affects you.
Affects me what? I
'Cause
was at
would
the
love to hear all of
inauguration.
this rhetoric. I know.
I got invited to
Oh my
Mar-a-Lago just the
God.
other day.
Ooh.
You not happy for me with that?
Wait to go. No, Anton, no. You shouldn't be either. You should be insulted, to be grouped, to connect, to associate,
Ma, I love this
and to be a
country.
part of.
I love this
You don't
country.
act like it. Okay, all right. Just I'm still praying for you. I pray for you every day, every single day.
You don't like none of the stuff that I said that he did?
Let's talk about this like maybe 6 months. I'll say 6 months down the line.
All right.
Yeah, and it's everybody's worried and fear what it was going to affect all the federal employees that's been fired and forced to be let go. Just the whole government but I mean, I'm talking upside of my mouth, and it's going nowhere, especially with you. But
I'm listening.
No, you're not.
How am I not listening?
Yeah, have you ever listened? You're not listening.
I do. I listen, and I take the information, I analyze it, and then I try to figure out where it makes sense and where not.
Where it makes sense to you. You're probably the only one that's like that. Trying to figure out where I'm trying to figure out where it makes sense too. I'm still figuring it out. Trying to figure out how in the world do you make sense of
honestly,
any of this?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Black people, they need to get that hate up out of their heart. They gotta let it go. No, seriously, we've been too blessed in this country to still to still hate.
Right.
Hate the president. Like, this president is great. He's the greatest president. He's gonna probably be the greatest president of all time.
You don't believe that?
I absolutely do. I think that this is the greatest president of all time, and he probably needs his own Mount Rushmore with just him. He needs to, like Drake said, he needs to have his face with 4 different expressions on Mount Rushmore.
Audience, I'm gonna give you another one more. And like, Anton is the type of person that he thrives on controversy. So whatever is happening, he's going to go the opposite. He was the greatest debater in high school. He was the best debater in high school.
Rita, you hear this?
Huh?
I asked Rita. I said, Rita, do you hear this?
So, audience, Anton is the one that's going to pull the controversy out of the top hat. The magic guy that does the magic trick on stage. He has a top hat, he pulls a rabbit out of it. Anton's going that's Anton. He gonna pull a rabbit out of that hat. Oh yeah. Because he's gonna debate controversy. And I get it, because he's an influencer. That's what he's supposed to do. So see how smart that is? You with me yet, Claudia? He's super, super duper smart.
I know. I was a C.
So smart.
I was a C student. My entire.
Were you not the best debater?
I was a C student
in your high school class. Yes or no?
I was a C student.
Okay, y'all get that? Did you hear it, audience? Did y'all hear that?
All right, let me get back to the show. I appreciate you.
Got you. I appreciate you too, and I love you with all my heart. Bye.
All right, bye. See, guys, we're all in the same boat here. We're all in the same boat. We all have parents that think differently than us, right? But we have to go in, assess the information, and figure it out for ourselves. And listen, we got to love our parents. We got to love our people. And we got to take care of them and respect them. But we got to go our own way. We gotta go. We gotta go our own way. We have to take care of and respect our parents, but respectfully, we can't lean into our history and to justify our decisions. We got to go a different way. If you continue to see things going bad for your community, you continue to see things going bad for your people, but we keep on going down the same road because we want to be 92 percenters. You can't do it. You can't do it. So let me read some of the super chats and then we'll go over to the next part of the show. Shout out to my Duke says, you know your car is bad when it sounds like it a drive-by on wheels. Good morning, Mr. AD. Where's the Tiege logo? Y'all want me to throw the Tiege logo up there? Let me see if I can find the Tiege logo. I'll see if I can find the Tiege logo. I reformatted all of my computers, but I'll get a Tiege logo up there for y'all. Cynthia Haynes says, good morning, sir. President Trump is dead serious about draining the swamp more. Bro, keep up the fantastic work. I agree. Welcome back to Magic City. Y'all say, y'all. I wonder how far my money go here at the strip club. No, I don't think that. Civ Lab said this is like being chosen for the Olympic team. The real race has to be run. Time will tell if the chosen athlete can bring it in for Team USA. Ken J says, why were they trying to hide this from us? Solomon Gully says, Harris is full of shh. It ain't funny anymore. She lies to America and think people are going to fall for it. But yet there are more people that voted for this heifer. My mom says she didn't even like her, but she voted for her anyway. Rich Steve says Kamala been a politician her whole life and don't know anything. Prime example of DEI, dumb, embarrassing, and incompetent. CEO First says Ricky Smiley, Plies, Rev, Al, and all their girls. Shout out to you. Nice Shell says, happy 8%er. Thank God for sparing us another 4 to 8 years of this foolery. Let me get a round of applause for my 8%er. Mr. Joe said, I don't trust anyone who voted for Harris. Me either. Wealth Building Journey says, I'm a 22%er. Let's make America great again. Back at this budget meeting. Shout out to you. Miss Jackson says, so funny. So it's funny how the NFL just said that they're removing end racism from the end zone, but people are not going to boycott the Super Bowl, only Target. Miami-Dade County Clerk of the Courts, shout out to you for the 50 ball, says, much love, my brother. It's good to see you in the city. I'm here. Magnetar 17 says, Mama Daniels means she don't want you to crash out and blame the wrong people, kind of like blaming low-level government workers instead of the Congress. Quan 42, hit the Quan. Family and parents really do hold us back. Dolores Renteria, shout out to you for the 2 ball. Trey D in the building says, Ton, you were talking over all adults' heads and mental capacity. And my mom asked me if I was reading. Man, I love your mom. She sounds just like mine. Would love to connect and get over to the West Coast of Michigan. Shout out to One Brother's Opinion. I'm going on a podcast tour, bro. 392Q says, man, your mom sound like my mom. All of our moms sound the same. Trump is cleaning up the trash in this country. These people cry. They better tighten up. Shout out to you. Happy Girl. Shout out to the Happy Girl. The Happy Girl says our parents are scared they are going to lose their comforts. Our parents had too much freedom. They did everything they wanted to do, good and bad. Mary Martin. Shout out to Mary Martin says, you are smart. You are a smart aleck. Irritating you. Act like you know everything. Appreciate your time. Keep up the good work. Don't change. Sounds like we have the same mom. We all got the same mom. Says, boy, hush. I brought you in this world. I could take you out. Papa or Papo Naya says, Anton about to get the belt. The Bible is literature. Literature is subjective art by nature. It's not. It's the word. It's the living word. Mr. Tyson says, LOL at the liberals in the chat getting hype. Who want to see Anton catch a whooping from his mama? Chef Mama Daniels cooking Anton since 1982. See, I bring somebody on here that help y'all out. You and your mama need a show. Yeah, that would be crazy. That would be insane. Y'all don't want to see my mama on camera. My mama crazy. Now, Mama Daniels saying the whole name. Yeah, she did say my whole government name, didn't she? When your mom put out your whole government, my mom was like, Anton, good thing I used my real name. I ain't got no alias on the internet. Didn't she, Advanced Perception? DJ, oh shoot, I missed DJ Ace. Let me get DJ Ace up in here. I don't want to miss my dog, DJ Ace. Let me make sure I get DJ Ace. I got to acknowledge that super chat. DJ Ace, I made a mistake in shoot. Here it is. This is Family Feud in real time, said DJ Ace. High Tolerance says, good morning, AD. And the bag chasers, did Mama D really think you were reading from a PowerPoint? Yeah, she said, are you reading? We gonna drag Mom to prosperity. Mom already there, prosperity. We love our mothers, but my mom is the same way. She is a generation that thinks that the Democrats are their saviors because they were able to pull the wool over their eyes for decades. Ron Thompson in the building. I appreciate you, Ron. Abe the Hunter says, wish Mom could explain her why. She does know Kamala sent her people to convict him just so liberals can say that he's a convicted felon. Hide the invited clan. Anton, nope, that ain't how you spell it. I ain't telling y'all. Moms know what she talking about, bro. Better listen, says Reggie Red. Reggie Red, didn't I bring you to the front of the congregation before? Anton, it's time to stop looking back at the crabs in the bucket. The line has been drawn, and there are those who just don't and won't get it. And please, says black culture and our ignorance is our own demise. Zach says Biden invited the Klan. Jawad, shout out to Jawad, says I had the same discussion with my parents last week. They concluded that I am a white man. Tiffany Roberts says Anton's mom, this is why we love him. We know the truth and the controversy he delivers every time our eyes can see. Please clip from my parents. And my mom used to be like this, but she eventually came around, said Zion Hendricks. No, my mom ain't coming around nowhere. My mom is like, yeah, okay, I'll see you. Let me acknowledge the Cash Apps, and then we're going to move over into the next part of the show. Annie Marie Lewis. Shout out to Annie Marie Lewis. I love you, says thank you and appreciate all the AD channels. All right, y'all. Y'all ready to continue over with the show? We got a full show to go ahead and rock out with. I'm with y'all at least 2 hours every day. So if y'all not a part of the Patreon, y'all need to be. If y'all not subscribed to the channel, you need to be. If you didn't hit a like for the algorithm, you should have already. But let's get to it. So let's talk about DEI. And I'm glad that I just had that conversation with Mom Dukes. Occasionally, I bring her on as a contributor to the platform from the liberal side of things, the liberal black woman side of things. But let's talk about DEI because nobody sent this to me. I just so happened to stumble upon this video and I clicked it because I seen a white man and a black woman sitting there, and I seen inside of the title of the video, living different realities on DEI. So I want to talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let me play this clip, and then let's go back to it.
The issue in this country right now is we live in different realities.
That's right.
I live in a reality where I know I do not have the same opportunity as you. I know I don't.
And you know
and
that
I know
too.
what, Scott?
And you know that.
Let me just tell you about me.
I'm gonna let you finish, but I want to answer this.
I'm not talking about how you feel. I'm talking about how I feel. Me, a black woman in this country.
But not in this city.
And I will run. And if you want me
I'm a New Yorker, not in this city. You cannot say that. You can't say that in this city.
I'm not talking about New York. I'm talking about actually
let her finish.
right here. I got a law degree, a master's, and 2 bachelors. Probably more education than all of y'all added up together on this table,
Fine
right?
by me.
And I have always been.
Look at her homegirl in the back. Did y'all see her homegirl in the back? Listen, this is what I found out about black women. Is that whenever they start running down their education and how many degrees that they got, they homegirl go and this is a normal thing. Their homegirl is always going to be in the back talking about, that's why you laughing because you know it's the truth. That's the new thing? Rita said the new thing is this. Is it this? This? Yes. Not this? It means Rita said the new thing is this. The second finger and a thumb, and that means clock it. When women do like this, that means clock it, boo. I just learned something new. When did that come out?
I'm not sure.
Clock it. Ladies, is that true? That is this finger, clock it. Is that a thing? Look at this. Look at her homegirl in the back. Watch this.
You cannot say that.
I got a law degree, a master's, and 2 bachelors. Probably more education than all of y'all added up together on this table, right? And I have always been.
Can't take these hood rats out the ghetto. Her homegirl in the back like, look at Jerry. Look at Jerry. Jerry said it's true. Shalina said it's true. Spoken word says clock it. Oh, God. Clock that T? Yeah. I can't wait to after hours tonight. I'm going to absolutely obliterate these women tonight. It's going to be a after hours for the ages. I am going to bring women, black women specifically, to the front of the congregation. Y'all need a reality check. For some reason, nobody has ever told y'all, for example, in this clip, that nobody cares about your diversity, equity, and inclusion degrees. I got 2 bachelors, a master's. Well, guess what? Do y'all want to know the truth? Do you want to know the truth? I can tell you the truth if you want to know the truth. Want me to tell you why she's the lowest on a totem pole, regardless of how many degrees that she says she has? You don't want the truth. You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. For whatever reason, you think that your degrees matter when it comes to your ability to deliver on content. CNN, for example, let me try to break it down from a C student's perspective. CNN, Fox News, Anton Daniels, Don Lemon, MSNBC, Politico, all of these different organizations. At the end of the day, we are in the entertainment industry, not the news industry. Basketball and Gayle King and Oprah and CNN and anything that you put your eyes on, and TikTok and Instagram and Snapchat and YouTube, we're all in the entertainment business. What that means is it doesn't matter how many professors gave you an A. College is not supposed to be to justify what your salary is supposed to be. I don't know if anybody told y'all this, but I'm going to bring it down for y'all. College is not there to justify how much you're supposed to get paid. College is there to give you the foundation. It's 2 things it's supposed to do. It's supposed to give you a foundation for getting into whatever respective field that you want to be into, and also to show that you can stick with something in order to get basically certified, to show that you were able to complete this course, which makes it satisfactory for a base level job going into a particular profession. If you get a degree and you wind up becoming a surgeon and you got shaky hands, you probably shouldn't. You can retain knowledge. You can take the test. It shows that you're competent and understanding exactly what surgeons do. But when you put the scalpel in your hand, you got the shaky hands. You shouldn't be performing surgery. It's a lot of people that can get the stats and they can get the understanding and all of this other type of stuff. But at the end of the day, if you're not a likable person, if people don't like the knowledge or the way that you say it, or if your voice is too squeaky, if your hair is too quickly, or whatever it is, guess what? You're not meant to be on that particular platform. Maybe you should be a statistician. Maybe you should be a dietitian. I don't know what you should be, but at the end of the day, you qualifying yourself by getting a degree does not mean that you are the best person for the job, because we don't even remember what your name is. I got to go back and look at what her name is so I can remember who she is, because she's not memorable outside of anything that she says about diversity, equity. Her name is Ashley Allison. Ashley Allison, that's her name. Ashley Allison. You can clock it, snap it, bring it back, and do whatever you want to do. But if you are not entertaining, if nobody looks at you and say, you know what, we got to find out what she said today because she be kicking knowledge, or she's dope at what she does, or she always have the right takes and all of this type of stuff, no advertisers are going to spend money. You can't diversity, equity, and inclusion your way into entertainment. The WNBA taught us that. They've been losing money for years. How much do we lose money on them just because they say that they woman and they can shoot a basketball and they can make a free throw? You can have all of the diversity, equity, and inclusion degrees that you want. It does not matter. It does not mean that you are the best person for the job. Some engineers are incredible engineers. It does not mean with more degrees that they deserve to be the CEO. It doesn't. There's other intangibles in there that allow for you to be greater and elevate. It's the human element. See, what we like to call it in basketball is called the eye test. You can look at the stats. You can say plus minus when they're on the court. You can say they get a lot of rebounds, but the eye test tells me that you get a lot of rebounds in garbage time. The eye test tells me that when you go against this guy, he just too good for you. You can't check him. Y'all ever been on the court and somebody was checking somebody and they say, hey, ISO, ISO. You know what ISO means? Calling for the ball in ISO. ISO, that mean I got this guy on the island and it don't matter what he do, he getting cooked. We want this matchup, pick and roll, get them on the island by itself so that they can cook. We go into that same play over and over again. No matter how many times you studied the film, calling for ISO is disrespectful because it means that you can't check me and I'm about to cook you. Hey, come on, right here. ISO, ISO. Help, say, help. Doubling. That means that you can't check me. That means you can't check me. Ain't nothing that you can do. It's some people on the internet, you ain't never going to be, it don't matter how much you stream, it don't matter what you do, you can't check me. You never going to be on the same level as me. I can cook you 10 times out of 10, and I'm more entertaining than you all the time. It ain't nothing that you can do. This train is going that way. Train is going that way.
The least paid person on payroll at every institution I have worked in. And it's not
even
because...
in the White House?
Even in the White House.
Well, whose fault is that? I don't think he worked for George W. or Trump.
Well, guess wasn't what happened when I was there. DEI.
Look at her bad attitude.
Look.
I'm head Scott.
Look, you're my friend. I respect you tremendously. I think you're probably the smartest operative in the Democratic Party, and they should listen to you more. That's number one. Number two, you and I should.
We always got to make them feel good by giving them a compliment. You're not as good as Scott. Scott got you, Ashley. Listen, with all of your education, and nobody goes online and looks at a CNN panel or any panel for that matter and say, who's the most educated up here? That's the person that I'm going to listen to talk. When Scott talks, he's entertaining. He's knowledgeable. He knows exactly what he's saying. He laughs at the right time. He talks at the right time. He scoops people at the right time. He has a better narrative for TV and content creation than Ashley. You can go get 7 more degrees. You're never going to be as good as Scott Jennings. It's just the facts. And it ain't because you're a black woman. It's because you're just not as good as Scott Jennings. We're going to pay Scott more because Scott is better on TV. We can give you all the compliments in the world. It doesn't matter. You're not good enough. Unless you become good enough. Maybe you need to make some adjustments. You want me to give you some suggestions? See, if I start giving suggestions, then y'all going to start getting offended. Oh, Anton, you telling black women they need to change their hair, that they need to lose some weight so that they can look better on TV. Want me to give you some suggestions? I can give you some suggestions. You might not want to hear it because you think it's going to take another degree. I can give you some suggestions. Hey, how many people said, dog, we got to go talk, we got to go find out what Ashley Allison is saying? I can give you some suggestions, but y'all don't want to hear it. You don't want to actually improve your TV presence. I got you.
Share a comparable background. We're both from the Midwest. We both come from middle-class families, lower middle-class families maybe. I actually think we share a lot of similarities in our journey. But I think you made it, and you are the most respected voice often at every room or every table you're in, not because
I can give you some suggestions
other than your talent and your work ethic. And that's all anybody ever is asking for, is for people with talent and work ethic to make it And that's what I see in you. That's how I see you.
But let me tell you something about my story and my family's story.
We don't care.
Is that we have faced discrimination. I have faced discrimination. I just said I was the least paid person, even in this moment sometimes, to my counterparts. It is just the reality of the country we live in. And I'm not saying, I do believe I'm qualified. I know I'm qualified. You won't.
No. Self-affirmation does not mean qualification. Ladies, I know y'all like to you've replaced prayer with affirmations. That's the problem. Women have replaced prayer with affirmations. You are now affirming yourself to be better than you really are instead of really taking some accountability for where your lot in life is. And instead of praying to God to give you what you need in order to be successful, you've replaced it with the love languages and affirmations. You can affirm yourself all you want. It doesn't make a difference. Affirmation is not qualification. I know I'm qualified. Says who? Says who? Who told you that? Because the only way for us to really know whether you qualified or not is for you to start your own podcast, start your own platform, get into the mire with the rest of us, stop depending on the network in order to support you and to give you the diversity, equity, and inclusion position, and get into the mire and let's see what your numbers are. Anybody can say anything. Very few people can do a show and hold over 5,000 people in there on a daily basis. 5,000, 6,000 people regularly. No help, no assistance, no nothing. Just over 5,000 people tuning in every single day. Very few people can do that. Very few on a live stream. I see people every day with over 1 million subscribers, and this ain't no hate. This is just real. I see people every day. They get some of the most elaborate guests, the most esteemed people to come on their platform on a regular basis. And I'm not even saying that I'm doing it big because it's people that's better than me. And you know how I know that they better than me? Because they got bigger numbers than me on a regular basis. Candace Owens will regularly have 100,000 plus people in there, which means if we're looking at it on a totem pole, she's more than 10 times, 20 times better than me. You know how I know that? Because the numbers say that it is. It ain't no question about it. I ain't stupid. I look at her and I say, you know what? Instead of me saying I deserve to be there, let me study her to better understand exactly what she's done in order to get this level of visibility to have consistently this many people here. I see people with over 1 million subscribers on a regular basis can't get 1,000 people tune into a live stream. Can't get 1,000. We don't make excuses as men. We just work. We just work. It ain't because you're a woman, because if that was the case, then Candace Owens wouldn't have the level of visibility that she has. It ain't because you're a black woman, because diversity, equity, and inclusion for some reason don't include Candace Owens. Candace Owens cooks. She's better than you. If Ashley stood in front of Candace Owens, it would be a cook show, no matter how many degrees. Candace Owens don't do nothing but have kids. All Candace Owens do is stay pregnant. No extra schooling, no master's degrees, no none of that stuff. All Candace Owens do is get pregnant. Candace stay pregnant. And if you put Candace against Ashley, it would be a cook fest. And everybody know it. Ashley know it. Candace know it. I know it. It don't matter the fact that they both black women. Candace on a regular basis draw more viewers than white women and white men. If you good, you just good. If you good, you're just good. You just get it. I'm better than some people better than me. It's a hierarchy. We go based off of the stats. It's merit based. You know why some people make the big bucks? Because they draw in the most viewers. That's how it goes.
Tell me I'm not qualified. But the system that I live in doesn't matter about my qualifications.
System.
I don't agree because when
2025.
Oh, come on.
I don't think we're there in 2025.
You can't
That's just not true. That's just not true. There is a mountain of evidence that suggests that you are wrong. Okay, let's just
Again,
take Ashley.
I'm a
let's
New Yorker,
just-
so I'm jaded. I have
okay.
the Attorney General is a
I'm
black
not-
woman.
okay,
The
we
mayor's
just
a
went-
black
we just
man.
went
The
from-
head of the Senate is a
we
black
just-
person.
Okay,
New York is a small representation.
Well, small.
of the
New York is
United
not
States
very
You're
small.
talking about
America.
politics. Let me talk about
Every judge I
numbers.
appear before
Because
is either a
Ashley
woman
just
or a
gave-
person of
Ashley
color.
just gave an anecdote, but the numbers also show black women are one of the most educated demographics in this country and one of the least paid. Why would that make?
Y'all really don't get it. You just don't get it. Being educated is just to get your foot in the door. It doesn't mean that you're a great person. It doesn't mean that you're a good employee. It doesn't mean that you're good at what you do. It doesn't mean that you're the best one at it. It doesn't mean that you're going to attract the most viewers. None of it matters. None of it matters. Either you're good or you're not. As a matter of fact, I would say that some of the best people are the ones that's not educated. The thing that's holding them back is that they can't get in a certain. The reason why I went back to school to get my software engineering degree wasn't that I didn't believe that I was the best software engineer. It was because I didn't get the opportunity to showcase my talent. And so I had to go through it and prove to people that, yes, I am the best person for the job. So then that's when I went and got my degree. That's when I went and got my degree so that I can then get in the door and say, watch me work. It's still going to be merit-based. You still got to put in the work. You still got to be good. You still got to be great. You can get as educated as you want. The education is to get you in the door. It's not to show that you're better than nobody else. You got to do the work. You got to show up every day. Grind, hustle, show up. Don't matter what city I'm in. I move my flights around the days that I ain't got a stream. You got to show up and you got to get better. You got to reinvest back into yourself. Stop waiting for somebody to give you an opportunity and show up. If you good, start your own stuff and we going to see just how good you are. Sink or swim.
Make any sense?
Why would that make any sense? And don't talk to me about the judges you stand before. Talk to me about the theory.
Hold on.
Talk to me about the world in which we live in and
Let's
the
look at
system
the
that
United
we live
States
in.
Supreme Court. How could you say we're not going to look at that from the top to the bottom? And I'm talking about the legal
Okay, New
system
York is a
that
more
I live in.
progressive
And we
state.
just got a black woman.
Hold up. Let me.
We just got a black woman on the
Okay, but you had a black man from the 70s.
You brought up the Supreme Court.
Or the 60s.
One.
Did you know, Arthur, that there are
Hold on. What percentage of it does it represent the United States of America?
Why does it matter?
So we got to go by.
Look, now they getting triggered.
guys one at a time?
We going to make this a part of
acknowledge what she just said.
Why is it just one? I don't know. Why is there only one Italian American?
No, but why is it so hard for you to acknowledge what she just said about black women being the most educated?
I did acknowledge it. I said that's not my.
And it's so many ways to slice this, but it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It's insane. What you got going on? What you got on?
My summer clothes.
You got on summer clothes?
Yes.
Okay, stand right there.
It's summertime.
Stand right there. All right, go ahead. Get your stuff. You can go.
Honey, get back to the show. They don't want to see me.
Inspection time.
They're not here for me.
Went from 20 degrees to what?
80, baby.
Where you about to go?
I'm about to walk across the street.
You about to go shopping?
I mean, the mall is right there.
Anyways. You don't think you brought no what?
Honey, are you going to finish your show?
What don't you think you brought?
I don't think I brought no sunglasses. I think I left them in my car. Always got a pair on deck, baby. Okay. Oh, you back.
She's going to shop, and I'm still on here. Anyways, let's continue on with the show. Let me read some of these super chats, and we'll go from there. We will go from there. Let me read some of the super chats. Do you think that someone will be held accountable for the pillaging of our tax money? Hopefully. We'll see. Coco Princess says, I thank God me and my mom both feel the same way about Trump. It was so hard to hear. It's amazing how a man grow up and go his own way because you have to be the head of your household. Much kudos to you. Shout out to you. I am my own man. Late to class. What you doing with your fingers, dog? Chilling. Oh, they said clock it. This means clock it now. That's what Rita taught me today. If you get the chance, watch the whole thing. Curry champion is single and kicked off of ESPN for a reason. Hit me back up on your app phone, says Jamal Wright. DI is about people wanting guarantees in life. P. Cruz says, my mom is the same. She doesn't know any policy. And when you tell her all of the good Trump has done, is silence and the next topic. Advanced Perception says, first suggest stop moving your neck when you talk. Tony Williams in the building says, clock that is a term popularized by a cross-dressing handicap man. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep, you're right. You're right. Y'all love y'all sassy men. He once counted 40 $100 bills and said 3,900, 4,000. Girl, this is 400. Ladies, please don't say that. Unfortunately, they can't figure this out, but sisters will never be taken seriously while wearing the hair of another woman on their heads. $10 for your calls, brother. Thank you for holding me down, big dog. Mr. D to the Z says most people don't get it. No one gives a crap. It's a family show, or I'd use an expletive. They can't grasp the idea that no one cares about them and their degree. The content is fire bag chasing. I'm going to tell y'all the truth. That's why we have what we have over here. Jay Hunter Lee says black women are not the most educated. They are the most enrolled, most indoctrinated, and the most in debt. And that is a fact. That is 100% a fact. Shout out to you. Advanced Perception says education shows competency in a job or position. But do you have the work ethic and the passion to improve the quality of your craft? Vaughn LA says, nah, AD put Mrs. Rita back on. Y'all seen enough of her. Look, she down there right now. I'm looking at her walking. Hold on. Where's she at? You see her in the tree, in the green, walking down there? Oh, Jesus. I'm watching her. She says she's going shopping. Just the walking. Just the walking. I'm about to change my hotel after the day. That's why I don't mind showing y'all where I'm at. Anyways, AD, if you need a minute, we all understand. High Tolerance says, did you get a chance to review Cackling Jasmine Crockett's USAID rant and Maxine Waiters in the backdrop looking like melted stick? It's written all over your faces, AD. Hey, some people don't even think I'm married to a black woman. That's pretty crazy. Miss Daniels is a beautiful distraction. Kudos. And my dog, Ash. What up, Ash? Your education does not always translate to talent, skill, authenticity, or earnings. A lot of black women think that their most educated argument makes them worthy of recognition. Nope, try improving your attitude, humility, and character. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate everybody that continues to support the platform. Y'all ready to move over into the next thing? I can see her. I can see her. Still walking. Keep it moving, homie. Good job, girl. We don't talk to strangers. We don't talk to strangers. Good job. Good job. Anyways, let's continue on with the show. What do we have next on the docket here? What do we have next on the docket? Let's see. Oh, yeah, this is a good one. Marcus Jordan. Y'all know that Marcus Jordan, Michael Jordan's son, recently got arrested, right? Marcus Jordan's son recently got arrested, but they went and got that body cam footage ASAP. All right, so we gonna try to, and he was with a snow bunny, so you know that Umar Johnson is gonna be all over this. Let's get to it. No, I don't want to get all of that. We want to get to the actual part. Let's see if I can find it.
So how do we get? I hear you. Help us try and reverse this thing out. Well, hang on. You are stuck. Come here. You know the trains come by right now, right? No, I know. That's why I'm trying to get the fuck up out of here. I hear you. What? Yeah, your car ain't going nowhere, dude. You're buried. You're stuck on the track. All right, so how do we get the fuck off the track? Honestly, I'm trying to figure that out. We notified the Sunrail I need you guys out of the car because there is a train coming right now.
What the fuck?
All right, so then let me pull up. You can't move.
You're not going to be able to move it. Just get out of the car.
You can't. You're buried.
No, you just move it to the right.
You're buried, bro. You can't go nowhere. You're buried. But there's a train
At least to the right.
less than 5 minutes away.
Right.
All right, so then you want to get hit by a train? Do you think I want to get hit by a train? No, that's what.
He clearly sounds like he's high or he's drunk. And he's in a Urus. He's in the Lamborghini SUV. He got a snow bunny in there. And the cops actually probably saved his life, to be honest with you. So the reality is that the cops actually probably came at the right time, or somebody called the police in order for them to, alert the train or whatever like that so that they can save his life, because he's sitting on the train tracks with whatever it is that he's got. They heard that he was basically he got arrested for a DUI and he had cocaine and all of that in the car with a snow bunny. And they over there trying to figure out what's going on.
I'm saying get out of the car so we don't get hit, so we can get off this thing.
Baby, try to the right.
All right, get out of the car.
Okay.
Get out of the car.
Okay.
I gotta order you guys out. Get out of the car, both of you guys. Come on. Safety first. Safety first, man.
Messed the door up. They probably bent the door by letting the door open like that.
I'm trying to get the fuck out of here. Yeah, but your car's not going anywhere, man. It's literally stuck. So, come on.
Yeah, you guys need to get out of the train.
There's a train coming. I don't want to see you guys get hit, bro. I understand that. Come on.
This is what you sound like.
All right, let's step over here.
There's gotta be a way to get this car out.
Look at the tire right here. Look. See the tires?
Yeah.
They're buried. You guys are literally stuck. I mean, there's no getting them off. Do you see what I'm saying? This car ain't going nowhere, man.
This is bad.
You can spin it.
Look at this bird. Jesus.
You can spin it.
We had this conversation the other day on After Hours on Tuesday. We're going to revisit this conversation when I said that we was talking about it, but we're going to revisit it tonight.
Okay. You see what I'm saying? I mean, that's what I said. It ain't going nowhere. We can't help you with that. We got the Sunrail. We're notifying them to see if they'll stop, but they got one coming right from Sanford, and it's. I mean, I feel like we got 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 of us guys. We can push this motherfucker. Right?
I'll push it.
My concern is us. Okay?
Yeah, but I'll push it.
Right. Okay. That's the concern. All right. I mean, the concern is this $300,000 vehicle. I would like to just like push this shit out the way.
Let's start trying.
Dumb and Dumber. And you could tell that he's a kid of privilege, right? You could tell that he comes from a space where he's not used to being told no. His parents probably never told him no. His mama probably never told him no and gave him no whoopings and disciplined him. When you have resources and when you grow up with resources, sometimes you need a couple more whoopings. Honest to God. Marcus Jordan is never going to change. He's already what he is. He's a 30-something-year-old idiot. And he didn't get enough whoopings when he was younger, and so he don't know how to control himself. He don't have no discipline. He don't realize that the things that he does actually makes his father look bad. And so this is why he's talking to the police like he's talking to the police. He got him a snow bunny over there. He love him snow bunnies. He love the snow bunnies. And so now he's over there telling the police, hey, we need to be concerned about this $300,000 car and push it out of the way. Really?
Tow trucks, we don't need a tow truck. We just need, can I get some manpower to push this shit off of this?
Okay, first of all, no, because I'm not getting you back behind the wheel.
Why?
How long ago did you realize this one?
This just happened right now. We thought we were making a right and I fucking turned onto the train tracks apparently.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
But yeah, we're not getting back in the car right now, okay? The reason why, so.
Do me a favor, keep your hands out of your pockets,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Keep your hands out of your pockets. There's nothing in my pocket.
That's all right, we'll pass you down a little bit. Put your hands out there,
Oh, man, you know, bro, I'm Marcus Jordan. I'm Michael Jordan's son. Okay. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just trying to get home. And I made a wrong turn. Okay? And
he tried to pull that, yo, I'm Michael Jordan's son, like that was going to actually fix the situation.
Clearly, we would just like to get our car off of the fucking train tracks.
It's
which
true.
We were not trying to be on.
He is wasted. He white.
Right. Do you have your ID on you real quick? Let's worry about that.
He does.
Okay, let them know who we're out with. And then we'll.
Did you have an ID on you, ma'am?
Yes, of course.
Oh my goodness gracious. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I mean, I apologize. This is not.
He is white girl
by design.
You hold this real quick.
I got it. I got it.
You want me to grab your IDs
I'll
right here?
I'll hold it for you. We're just trying to head home, man. I live in Dr. Phillips.
How did you manage to get on the train tracks, man?
Honestly, I made a left and I made a right and I made another right, and here we are.
What state is
Where are you guys coming from?
We were at a couple of venues tonight, but
oh, he in Florida.
I was just trying to get home. Like,
he's in Florida.
Thank you.
Well, we got a tow truck on the way.
We really need a tow truck?
Yeah, we're gonna.
Yeah, we getting impounded.
We need a tow truck? Really?
Yeah. Yeah, we can't get this off the track,
bro.
What is Dr. Phillips like the high end place or something like that? Y'all let me know what y'all think. Oh, it's a suburb of Orlando. Okay, I got you.
I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 of us. We can't push this thing in reverse and get it off the track. No? Fellas.
Yes. Fancy, Dr. Phillips.
Just trying to get my car off of the train track. I didn't realize that this was a train track.
Okay. You got keys to your car.
To mine?
Yes. Let me see. Yeah, and that's why we're out here with you right now.
I know.
Because we're spinning tires, we see people walking on train tracks, and
I know my dog Quentin gonna say that she a 10 when she really a 3. Quentin is gonna say that this woman is a 10 when she really a 3. But we gonna get to that tonight.
there's possible trains coming. Okay.
Trust me, I understand that. So the quicker we can move this motherfucker, the better, right?
I'm telling you, we cannot push this car off the track. There's no possible physical way in this universe.
I disagree with that.
Okay.
But,
Well,
okay.
you have more than right to disagree with me, okay?
I mean, I'm just saying, if there's 6 of us and we throw this thing in reverse.
Okay. Well, I've already got concerns for your level of impairment anyways, okay? So that's why. Because I can smell alcohol coming from you and you're on train tracks. Okay. So
come on, man.
Just listen.
So he drunk, and he got cocaine, and he stuck. Come on, bro.
Listen to me. That's why I don't want you back behind the wheel anyways, okay?
I'm fine behind the wheel. I just would like to get my car out of this.
We'll deal with that after this, okay? We'll deal with that after this.
How come people, I've never been pulled over, or I've never driven drunk. I've never even driven with alcohol in my system. This is just me personally. And I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody, but I understand that the implications that come with a DUI can be catastrophic. It could be absolutely massive. You know what I'm saying? Nobody. You know what I fear nowadays, honestly? You know what my biggest fear is? Body cam footage like Ice-T or Marcus Jordan or Lil Baby getting pulled over and stuff. That's the last thing I need is some body cam footage of me on some train tracks getting caught up with a snow. First of all, the body cam footage gonna come out, and I'm gonna have a snow bunny. And when I get home and I'm gonna tell my chick, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, Rita, nah, man, you know what? I was just a little drunk. I got caught over." And then somebody gonna do a review of a body cam footage. Anton had a snow bunny in his car. Anton, I thought you only hired black women. What was you doing with a snow bunny at 3 a.m. in your car? Now you stuck on the train tracks and your words are slurred. We live in a different era now. It's cameras everywhere. It's cameras everywhere. When I go through the airport, the lady at the airport at the Delta counter, when I was flying here, she was like, "I see you, Mr. and Mrs. Daniels. I never thought I'd run into y'all." The Delta lady that scans your thing when you was going in. You know what I'm saying? Like, last thing I need is a snow bunny in my car. I can get away with it if it's another black girl. I can tell you anything on that thing. But if it's a snow bunny, then I'm going to have to answer some questions.
But that's why I had to get you out of the car, okay? Because I hear spinning tires, I hear slurred speech from you, you're driving on train tracks.
I'm not slurring anything, and I'm...
Okay. I'm letting you know. I have concerns. Okay?
Well, I appreciate that.
Driving a vehicle. I can't let you back behind the car and drive a vehicle.
I appreciate your concerns.
Yeah, I don't want.
But I am not inebriated. I'm not anything that cannot drive home.
9046440.
The thing is,
my job is to keep everybody safe.
I'm not familiar with this area. I made a right.
Delta,
I thought I was making a right onto the highway. I made a right onto the fucking.
How you think you was making a right onto the highway, dog?
Train track.
1012.
Where did you turn at, man?
I wish I could tell you, but
you're way down the train tracks. That's what I'm saying. It's not like you just turned.
We're not way down the train tracks. We made a right and another right.
I've been letting you know there's no physical possible way in this universe that we can push this car off the train track.
And
I disagree with that.
No, I don't care if you disagree or not. Okay, I'm letting you know.
I mean, I get that, but
we're not getting you back behind the wheel. Okay, not at this moment. Okay, there possibly is a train coming. Okay, so we need to get off these tracks. That is my concern right now for you guys' safety and our own. Okay,
man, bro,
you can't get the car off, and we're not pushing it. Okay, so I'm letting you know that. All right.
I mean, I could definitely get this car off if you gentlemen would like to help me.
I told you, we're not pushing a car off of train tracks.
He don't even know that he about to get arrested.
Getting back behind the wheel until I know that you're safe enough to operate it.
Okay, so what do I have to do to show you that I'm safe enough to operate it?
Well, I'm going to ask you to do field sobriety exercises in a minute, but I'm going to read you your Miranda rights first because there's so many of us. That's the only reason. I've already ordered you out of the car. I gave you orders. Before I ask any questions, I have to read you your rights. You're not under arrest. I just have
I
to
know
agree to
that.
the right.
I know I'm not.
So the reason why I
I
Oh, you
shouldn't be.
got privilege. Oh, you a tough guy. I know I'm not. I know that. I know I'm not under arrest. Oh, okay.
I understand that. So what I'm saying is, because I smell alcohol coming from you, being stuck on the tracks like this,
We're not gonna go through the whole
your
video.
rights first. Do you have the card? But we're gonna get off the track though first, okay? So if you want to roll, if you want her to roll the window up from.
Anton is look at this. Ken S says Anton is acting like this is a serious crime. Do you know how many kids and how many people that have gotten killed from drunk driving? That if the police didn't get there while they're sitting on the train tracks, we might be looking at a completely different story on the news about Marcus Jordan getting hit by a train on the train tracks with a snow bunny in a car. Do you know how many people have been, listen, I don't know where y'all from. I know that everybody think that it's a game, but having cocaine in a car and you drunk at the same time, it shows that you're irresponsible. And also on top of that, let me talk to y'all from the people in the back. When you are a public figure, when you are a visible person, you have a greater responsibility to be a better person for the general public than a normal human being. And this is the thing that I was telling him on After Hours. He is not normal. I have a greater responsibility to be a better steward of the resources and the visibility that God has given me. This is incredibly serious. It's a very, very serious thing. And the fact that y'all don't take it serious shows why people in the community don't take us serious. It is a very serious crime. And see, it's not serious until it happens to one of your friends. See, if you've never actually talked to somebody who's been affected by a drunk driver, somebody killed somebody, somebody paralyzed somebody. It happens all the time. It's the reason why they throw the book at you if you drunk driving. You can drive without a license. You can drive with a license suspended. You can run a light. You can do a lot of things. But when you drunk while doing it, that's when it becomes a problem. It's very serious. You're operating a 3,000-pound missile that can literally kill people. It's like 52,000 car accidents every single day. What's wrong with y'all?
From the passenger side or something, or if the car's turned off or something like that.
Man,
we can do that.
It's
but
not about
we gotta
any of
be
that.
over here.
To your son or your daughter going down the street, then they get hit by a drunk driver, and then all of a sudden you mad. You mad, man. We need to do something about this.
Okay, so we are going to get off these tracks because I don't want to get hit. Okay, that's my main concern right now.
If I know anything, I'm pretty sure that nobody's going to get hit tonight.
Okay.
What?
Right? My main objective is to just get my car back on the road because I took a wrong turn apparently.
Yes.
And so that's all I would like to do.
Okay.
But I understand you guys have a job to do. Like I'm not trying to interfere with that. I respect all of that. But
is there an easy way to get it through the bushes over here so we can get them off this?
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying is 3-4 of us can easily move this motherfucker.
Come on this way, then there's a big opening where.
Yes, let's. I'm open to any ideas you guys have.
He still think that they negotiating with him. I want to see the arrest part.
We're gonna walk to this black car back.
This is
just leaning against the car here.
1235 and 63 at 115.
I think we're gonna set that.
Thank you.
So what we'll do is not based on the price, but we'll listen about your license.
Play that game. You disrespecting me.
Do you mind holding this for me?
To a small degree, you guys are disrespecting me.
Okay.
But I mean, it's
Do you want her to have your property?
Yes, I do.
Oh, he already cuffed.
What about phone and wallet?
What about it?
Do you want her to have the phone and wallet, or do you want us to bring it with you?
No, I want her to have it.
Okay. Do you want a credit card?
Wind your stance for me.
There you
go. Man, what a Monday night.
Drunk on a Monday.
What a Monday night. One, 2, 9, 10, 15. I said
Both hands back. I believe you had too much of this tonight. Okay. Just letting you know. Okay.
I disagree with that, sir, but whatever you say.
It's what I'm letting you know. I mean, I hear you, but
I am a fucking normal person, man. What is you walk like a normal person, you'll be alright. I am a fucking normal person, man. What is y'all this crazy? This is
Just leaning against the car here.
Control 35-63 at 1215.
Yeah, this is an idiot. We're going to talk about this on After Hours tonight because we got to revisit a subject that we was talking about prior to, but he's an idiot. He made his family look bad, and he continues to embarrass his father, and it's unfortunate because all he had to do was shut up, catch a black car, and go home. Courtney Egger says, this is why you got to bring back the one-on-one calls, fam, to get the insights to be better, especially for your platform. For my platform, I want to be better. I'll bring back the one-on-ones. I'm just not sure when I'm going to do it. I don't know when I'm going to do it. Jeremiah Wineglass says, my grandma almost disowned me because I voted for Trump. Your mom sounds like my grandma. Luckily, I turned my mom and wife to vote for Trump. Thanks for your information. New bag chaser from Texas. Shout out to you. 392Q says, only the exclusive access is available on the Patreon. The rest is sold out. Any updates on that? Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to do a Patreon live stream this weekend and we'll figure it out. Abe the Hunter says, yo, he was deep on the tracks, far away from the road. Cops had to walk to him. Yeah, it was crazy. Mr. Lot says, okay, Lamborghini, Snow Bunny, Booger Sugar. We got to cue the White Horse song. Yeah, he owned it. MJ 1.0 was literally trying to become Eddie Griffin 2.0. Anton can't take all of that fineness. Aaron L says, didn't you say you like the crazy lifestyle on After Hours? Wake up and let's do it again. Yeah, but I ain't trying to get arrested. I like contained crazy. Dad's a basketball legend, lots of stress. Abe Hunter says, I may be short and have to use my mind to get ahead, but being tall and worthless is on a whole nother level. Shameful. Uses dad's. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. You can't be tall and useless. He's talking to the police like they AA. Cam Cone, shout out to Cam Cone in the building. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all go and look up Cam Cone. New Boss says, I think the girl should have stepped in and stopped them. I'm curious what's the point of her being with them. They are both. But you thought that she had any value other than being a bust down? Come on, man. Y'all putting too much stock in these women. You got to take care of yourself. Every time I look at him, I think about his dad's commercial, Get Some Help. Manuel AG says, when that somebody turns her head, you better duck or that nose is going to take you out. Tariq Walker, shout out to Tariq Walker. I appreciate you. Aaron L says he was skiing on the train tracks that gawk. Abe Hunter says, I told you he was coming back from the future. Casual Germ says she's standing there like, yes, I got another one in trouble. Courtney Smith is in the building, says Mark is getting stuck on the tracks and busted by the police. Is an act of God slaving his life that night. That's probably more true than ever. From one alcoholic to another, it would appear that the brother needs some serious help. Unbiasedly Raw says Quentin gonna have to duck the Pinocchio nose trying to justify her being a 10, trying to find a GTA alley to clap Wonder Bread buns in the Urus is crazy work though. Aaron L says a wrong turn, he'd be a few feet from the corner. This dude is far from that traffic light. Even a coked up Coke bunny is looking at him like he an idiot. She was coked up. I'm sorry, Anton, but at least the white woman stayed quiet. What is that supposed to mean? Tony Williams says, had they been killed by a train, every black person in the USA would cry conspiracy, saying why he will be driving down a train track with cocaine. Yep, you are 100% correct. And Lachusky Jones says, morning, Anton, you see David Pac-Man out here saying someone reported Trump stole his election. They just crashing out big time. We ain't worried about it. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Y'all want to do one more story? I think we got time for another story. Let's jump into it. Let's go one more, y'all. Let's go Laid Off. So this woman, lately I've been reviewing other content creators, giving them some love and some visibility. Her name is, let me make sure I get that right. Life and Numbers. As of the recording of this video, has 15,900 subscribers. If you guys want to go and check her out, and if I clip this up, I will definitely put a link in the chat to it. Her name is Life and Numbers, and apparently she got laid off live, like, while recording and stuff like that. So she recorded her potential layoff. Apparently she's seen it coming, and we're going to check it out. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's rock out.
Hello.
Hey, Simone, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Hey. Hey, thanks for making time on short notice. I'm sure my invite was rattling and not awesome, and you do not have to turn your camera on if you don't want to. I have a couple of notes to share with you. But so I'll be glad to get those notes to make sure I cover things. But I will also follow up with an email so you don't have to retain everything I'm gonna say. The difficult decision to restructure the XD org and as a result, reduce the size of the org. And unfortunately, you're impacted by this change. So your last working day is today, but the good news is you'll be paid through February 2nd.
So she'll be paid through a month. This is all standard. All of this script, everything that's being said right now is pretty much standard through HR. Usually they'll have your manager have a conversation with you along with HR. But this is all pretty standard stuff. We're going to let you go, and then they're going to make you sign something in order to get a severance package, so on and so forth.
Those are the most important pieces of information. Your system access as an employee will be turned off at some point today. I'm not sure when exactly. In your Workday and Benefits portal, you'll still have access to until February 2nd as an employee, and then after that, you'll have access to it as an alumni. And then I'm going to email you the specifics, your severance, benefits, and a few other details that will probably be helpful later, and you're ready to go through them. And then on your last day, you'll get your severance documents via DocuSign to sign, and they'll go to your personal email address. I'm gonna pause. I know I just rattled off a whole bunch of really big news. Is there any questions or anything that you want to ask?
Are there any reasons other than just like restructuring? Like, what's the reason for the restructuring?
A lot of times people ask that question because they don't know how to cope or deal with, or it may even be their first time getting laid off or their first time being let go. It doesn't even matter at this point. Like, they can't give you nothing. It's a standard script that they pretty much go on by. Sometimes they'll tell you, oh, you were a good employee, or this has nothing to do with your performance or anything like that. But the person that's asking the question is looking for some kind of closure because it's all so sudden and they're trying to process it. And you never know. You don't know what they finances is looking like. You don't know if they now automatically trying to figure out how to cope while at the same time trying to figure out what they're going to do after February to pay their bills. You don't know if they dependent on that job as their only source of income. So it's a coping method at the same time. They can't give you any closure. They're usually going to give you a standard script. It has nothing to do with your performance. This is just company-wide. We're restructuring a company, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Your department is the only one that's being, is just being impacted. Several different people are going through it also.
That's a really good question. It has to do with the company is doing consolidated priorities this year and next year. They're looking to, so the org, it has nothing to do with performance. It has nothing to do with location and everything to do with the company wanting to do less in tech and you take on less priorities. And as a result, the team is being reduced for that to support that.
Just like I said, it's a standard script.
Another question I had was around like my remote status. Is that like a factor in this as well?
Yeah, that's a really good question. It did, to be perfectly honest, it did come, the remote status in general came up as a potential discussion, but it ended up not being a factor.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, please don't obviously feel the pressure to do anything today other than take care of yourself and break down and have a few conversations if you want to. Again, there's other people being impacted today, so I'm sure everybody is going to be worried and confused and feeling all the things. So, number one, take care of yourself today. And as questions come up, again, just because you're not working after today officially, you are paid through February 2nd. I'm so sorry, Simone. Well, please, again, like take today and take care of yourself. And again, I'm really sorry, but this is happening.
Okay. Thank you. See you on LinkedIn, I guess.
Now, this is the part, I haven't seen this yet, but this is the part that it starts to hit you because you got to try to figure out how to deal with, and I would imagine it would be even worse for women because now you got to deal with all of your emotions and whatever comes along with that, right? I don't know if she got a severance package.
So I've already cried today. I have already cried today. I'll probably cry more. Yeah, so I got an email like an hour ago that said, "Hi, I'd like to get together and share an update on our organization and what this means for you." So yeah, I already knew that this was coming. At first, I thought that like maybe it wouldn't just impact me because someone else mentioned that they got the same email. And I was like, oh, well, maybe, because this has happened before when they laid off all of our managers. So I was like, well, maybe they're telling all of us at the same time that someone else is getting, like someone big at the top is getting laid off. But I reached out to that person and I was like, does your meeting start at 12? And she said, no, my meeting starts at 12:30. So.
Well, that means that she getting fired right after you.
When she said that, that's when I had my breakdown, and that's when I started crying. I think the best news out of that is that I'm going to get my bonus, so that will help. I don't know how much the bonus will be because I don't know how well the company performed, but that check will come in March, and I'll still get another regular paycheck from work. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I do have savings, thank God, but like I don't know what I'm gonna do if it takes months to get a new job because I still want to remain in tech. I still want a remote position, which those are harder to come by now.
Listen, you got to do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do. Meaning that when you have a job and you're looking for another job, you can afford to be picky. When you don't have another job, I'm saying that you can still get into the same field or get a job or, something that was similar to what you was doing, but you can't be choosy. You got to be willing to go into this office, do what you got to do. And then once you get your feet set and planted, then that's when you can start being a little bit more choosy with opportunities that may come after that. But you don't have no more wants. Throw your wants out the window. Throw the wants out the window. I will also tell you that people that work remotely are the first ones to get cut. A lot of people don't want to come to this reality. They think that you save just because you work remote or you think that your productivity, they can't see you. If they don't have no visibility into you, the company doesn't look at you as a person that is productive. I don't know how, and this ain't, with regard to her, this is just in people. If you're going to work remote, I want you to understand that you're going to be in there until you're not. But when they start to downsize and when they start to cut people, they don't look at you the same way. They don't look at it. If they can't see you, if they can't compartmentalize, if you're not going into the office on a regular basis in order to show your face and stuff like that, you will be one of the first people that get let go because they cannot understand what your they don't know where you add value. They can't go based off of metrics. They can't go based off of, they need to see you. So when you get laid off, throw away whatever it is that you thought had your creature comforts and start getting back into you got to get into the mud. You got to get into the mire. You got to be willing to do the things that other people are not willing to do in order to get where you want to go. So nice to haves and wants come after needs. That's the primary thing of it.
And I don't know what I'm going to do if I can't get another job because I have the mortgage now, and the mortgage is like $2,700 a month.
Sound like a buying opportunity for other people. Listen, I told y'all the other day, what was it, Monday? May have been yesterday, but I think it was Monday. I said, or Tuesday, I said, the honeymoon is over. The honeymoon is over for everybody. And this is not relevant to her because I actually feel sorry for her situation, but I'm using this as a springboard to illustrate a point that I was telling y'all earlier in the week. Real life is going to hit a lot of people because everybody is independent. If you're doing it by yourself, it's going to be different for you. I'm just telling you right now. If you were out here alone, it's going to be different for you. Independence is going to become a noose more than it becomes a freedom. You didn't hear what I said. Independence for a lot of people will become a burden, a noose, more than it comes something that frees you from somebody else's. Now you don't have nothing or nobody to fall back on except for your own independence. It's different. It's different when you a woman and you can say, well, you know what? It was cool, but I'm chilling. My life is not going to be affected or whatever. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to chill. I'm going to go on vacation. I'm going to figure out what I want to do with my life. I may take some time off. I might spend the summer in Miami or something like that because you got a man or you got somebody to fall back on that's covering you, and your money was just nice to have. It wasn't something that y'all depended on. But when you have to become independent on the other side, it's going to be different. You got that $2,700 mortgage. I don't know if that includes taxes. I don't know if that includes insurance. I don't know if that includes utilities. I don't know what all you including in that, but it hit different. I'm just telling you, it hit different.
I have my trip planned to New Zealand next month. I should probably cancel that.
Yeah,
If I can
you
get
should.
a refund on my
100%.
flight, I should probably cancel that, which sucks. But
I did see some people in their comments say, girl, take that trip. Stop listening to people that don't have a vested interest in your life. Don't take the trip. Hunker down, cut every cost that you can. Life is real.
because I've been planning that since like this time last year. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know.
I feel so bad for her. I feel so bad because I know what they're going through before. I've been through that back in 08.
I don't know what I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm trying
I feel so bad for her.
I'm trying to have faith that everything's gonna work out eventually. I just don't know how long it'll take for things to work out, and
Hopefully she get another job quickly.
it just really scares me because
The job market is competitive right now.
I don't have anybody to like lean on.
This is a life event. This is she says she ain't got nobody to lean on. Now this is a life event. Listen, losing your job for the first time for some people can be like a death in the family because you don't know what to do and you in shock.
Like I'm not rich. My family isn't rich. Like I don't know. I don't know.
And again, the name of her channel, y'all go and subscribe to it if y'all want to check it out. It's right there in the in the top, right there. I'll say it out loud again. The name of her channel is Life in Numbers. If y'all want to go and subscribe to her and check her out, you're more than welcome to. And then I'll put a link in the if I clip this up, I'll put a link in the description for you guys to be able to click on.
I'm sure it's all gonna work out.
It's crazy competitive.
I'm sure it's all gonna work out. I just don't know how it's gonna work out, but I'm sure it's all gonna work out. I have a meeting that starts in 15 minutes. Let me tell that person I am not coming.
I'm not going to no meetings.
Go ahead and cancel.
Somebody says when stuff like this happens, it makes me feel like the American dream. What did you say? It makes me feel like the American dream doesn't exist. Man, the layoffs has been happening since before I was born. I might have been born into a layoff, into my father having a layoff. Because my mom, layoffs has been happening since the beginning of time. American dream absolutely does exist, but it's just a reckoning. I like to say that it's a correction that's happening in the market right now. There is a huge correction that is happening in the market right now.
Cancel this and all following events because I'll never be here again after today.
Yeah, I wish her the best. I hope she does well. She'll be fine.
At least it's not just me. She said that, like, because I work remotely and a lot of our team is remote, but she said that it's not just the remote people, it's the people who live in like the city that our headquarters are in. So,
she'll be fine. She'll learn from it and she'll adjust the next time.
Everything's gonna work out eventually. In due time, everything will work out. Late in the midnight hour, it's gonna work out. So it's been like 2 hours since that phone call with my manager. Actually, she's not even my manager. She's like the director of my program. I think I'm going through cycles of grief. I've had full on like breakdowns twice. Once before the call even happened because I knew what was going to happen, and then once after that. And then I was talking to my parents about it, and they've been, very supportive and like encouraging. And I'm a daddy's girl, and my dad was like, "It's gonna be okay" and everything, and that made me cry even harder. Like, I don't know.
Shout out to her.
But yeah, I've learned more details about it. So details that make me feel a little better. It's not just me who was laid off. I later I got to talk to my actual manager, and she said that like 24 people were involved in this. So that makes me feel a little better. 24 people total, like in my whole department. And then on my actual team, it was 8 people, and it was all like different levels of like hierarchy on our team. 2 of them are like the top positions on our team, and those people are like great at their job. And I asked my manager, and she said it had nothing to do with performance. And in fact, she had already collected feedback from my upcoming performance review, and everyone had amazing things to say about me. So nothing to do with performance, all about company greed.
Yeah, April.
Yay, capitalism. Yeah. So
You said company greed. Yeah, she's coping right now, but she'll be fine. If she's resourceful, if she's smart, she'll get back on her feet and she'll figure it out. All right, y'all, listen, it was a great show today. I went a little bit further, a little bit longer than I usually would, but, we here. I'm not sure when I'm flying back to Michigan and Detroit, probably when the weather breaks up a little bit. Maybe this weekend, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe a couple days, I don't know. So I don't necessarily have a return date yet, but we'll figure it out and we'll go from there. Anyways, I'm glad that you guys continue to rock with me. Thank you for continuing to hold me down. I'm going to put out on Instagram and Twitter if anybody want to work, because you know me, I'm a worker. If anybody want to work out here in Miami, if y'all have got a podcast or something like that, tap in and I'll pull up and we'll make it do what it do. Anyways, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all continuing to have a great day. We got after hours tonight and we're going to get it popping. All right? I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.